Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Weekly for Saturday, May 16th, 2020. You'll notice there was no music. You just had to look at me. There's also not going to be a cocktail this week. There's also not going to be a Vegas tip this week. There's going to kind of be a weekday in Vegas history this week. But this is a special report, a special edition of Vegas Weekly. And the reason for it is it has been basically 60 days since Vegas shut down. So we're going to talk about that today, talk about what's ahead. So it's mostly just going to be me jabbering on and perhaps spouting my somewhat well-informed opinions. So hopefully those of you who are big fans of the show will hang in there and watch this. And we'll be back next week. Got another great cocktail from PJ. And actually, coming up in a couple of weeks, I believe we're going to have our guest mixologist. And that looks like a really fun one as well. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. But I totally forgot. I should have worn my Plaza shirt today. I got it in the mail from Hagen 2 Cent for winning. We'll call it winning the game show. So I appreciate them. Fun little shirt. I'll have to wear it in Vegas the next time that I'm in the Plaza. And speaking of the Plaza, of course, it's located right on the corner of Main and Fremont, which is basically the original town site of Las Vegas. And May 15th is traditionally celebrated as the birthday of Las Vegas. And for those of you that can do some simple math, that was yesterday. Las Vegas had been settled, lived in, passed through for many hundreds of years prior to 1905. Believe it or not, Las Vegas has a number of natural springs. The word Las Vegas in Spanish means the meadows. And it's because even back in the hundreds of years ago, Las Vegas was an oasis in the desert. As a result, early explorers stopped there. Wagon trains on their way south stopped there, and ultimately the railroads stopped there because of the availability of water. For those of you not as familiar with American history, I would say the vast majority of cities in the American West exist because of the railroad, and Las Vegas is certainly no different. If you have stayed at the Plaza or Main Street Station and faced in the wrong direction, you see the many trains that pass by. And those, of course, that's basically the original railroads that came into Las Vegas. Of course, originally the Plaza was called the Union Plaza due to the fact that it was on the site of the old Union Pacific Railroad station. But in any case, even though Las Vegas had many settlers throughout the years, Native Americans, explorers, Mormons, the date that normally gets given as the birthday is May 15th. It was the auction on the town site. Many of plots of land that are now downtown Las Vegas were auctioned off at that time. The city wasn't officially incorporated until 1911. In fact, there wasn't even a Clark County until 1909. Curiously enough, shortly after the birth of Las Vegas, the city of Nevada became the final Western state to ban gambling. Well, I guess gambling has been banned in Nevada for the last 60 days as well. And so that's the other thing we want to talk about today. It was really pretty surreal, wasn't it? I'm not going to go through the timeline because we did a video on that a few weeks back. But for those of us who had friends and colleagues in Las Vegas at the time and were getting messages from them or seeing tweets or videos from them along the way, those final days in mid-March, right around St. Patrick's Day, a time which should have been particularly festive in Las Vegas, but turned into a rather sad time. Hotels and casinos closing, and of course the governor's orders to basically shut down the city, or at least its tourist-related activities. I believe that actually was March 18th, so that's 59 days from now, but we're fudging a bit. There have been some very promising news over the past couple of weeks. The governor of Nevada had moved the state into phase 1 of recovery. And there were a lot of casinos, a lot of vloggers and tweeters and Las Vegas experts and casinos and hosts and so forth, talking somewhat confidently about getting the casinos opened up at the end of this month, maybe before Memorial Day. There's still places, I think there may still be places that will take a reservation on May 22nd. Keep in mind that's 6 days from now. Unfortunately, I don't think that's realistic. We're not going to be open in any way, shape, or form for Memorial Day. I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I will drink another Caesar. There you go, Mark. But I don't think I will be. I remember commenting, I think a few weeks ago at the Westgate's targeting of June 18th as a reopen date as the most realistic one I had seen, and I continue to think that may still be realistic. Mid to late June is my prediction. If you're planning to take a trip in July and you can make it, I think you've got a better than 50-50 chance of completing it. But what kind of Las Vegas will we be returning to? Well, we've talked about that too. As we've gone through this crisis over the past several months, it's occurred to me that we've got a lot of first world problems. Those of us in the US, Western Europe, Canada, Australia, numerous other highly developed societies, we've become used to what I'm going to call magic buttons, and I'm going to have a drink. We wake up in the morning, it's dark outside, so we hit a magic button and we make light. We feel a little bit cold or a little bit warm. We hit another magic button and suddenly the temperature is adjusted exactly to our likings. Feel a bit dirty, we hit a magic button and clean, warm water comes out of a tap. We want to make some food, we don't have to build a fire. We go into our kitchen and we push a magic button and we make fire. If we need to relieve ourselves, we don't have to dig a hole. We push another magic button and it goes away. And when we need to go away, we don't need to mount a horse or pack a bag for a 30-day journey. No, we get into a metal concoction of one sort or another, push another button, and we magically fly off at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour to our destination. If we choose to stay home and we're bored, we can hit a magic button and suddenly entertainment of all types. Pretty much any movie that's ever existed, any song that's ever been recorded, we can listen to it at the touch of a button, a magic button. If we just want to talk to our friends and family, no matter where they are around the world, whether we want to just do the audio or even video chats, we push a magic button and it happens. So many of us in the wake of this crisis are waiting for a magic button. I've tried to remain, I hope, somewhat neutral on the matter of Las Vegas, although obviously this is a pro-Las Vegas YouTube channel. I find many of my fellow YouTube channels, some of them with thousands and tens of thousands more subscribers than I have, who feel the need to upload thumbnails talking about the end of Las Vegas and, oh my God, this is going to be the end of it all, and watch me and I'll tell you about it. And I think that's as bad as our cable news channels. I don't care if it gets you views. It's not productive. Just like much of what we've heard from the media has not been very productive. But regardless, we're all still seeking that magic button. Whether it be the people on one side that want Las Vegas to open immediately, that want to get back to work, that want to get back to the casinos, that want to get back to the way things were 90 days ago when we didn't have to worry about this. They want to push a magic button and all of a sudden all the casinos are open and they can fly out and enjoy themselves. Boy, I certainly would like that too. On the other side, you've got people who have been very cautious throughout this entire thing. Some may have been sick, others have been quarantined because they're trying to prevent themselves from getting sick or making anyone else sick. And they too are waiting for a magic button. They are holed up waiting for some vaccine or cure that's going to change all of this, and that suddenly everything can go back to normal. We hear about the new normal. There's nothing normal about it. When Las Vegas opens up, and it will open up again, sooner rather than later. If we do another video in 60 days, we'll be talking about how Las Vegas has taken halting steps towards recovery. But the thing about this is that this whole incident I think, has shown us how reliant we are on magic buttons and the fact that they're not magic at all. Everything we have in our society is a result, basically, of human ingenuity. It's a result of hard work. It's a result of people figuring things out that at one time would have seemed impossible. And we will figure this out at some point, even if it currently seems impossible. I am an optimist, and I believe the human spirit will conquer another mountain. I think we're already doing it. But it's worthwhile to remember at this time, and yes, I'm basically just giving my opinion, so you can tune it out if you like, that when we hear about how the air is cleaner and the water is cleaner and there are dolphins in Louisiana or seals in Venice or something, and we romanticize that, yes, we can. It's true that if we as a species were not around, that things would probably be nicer for all the other animals, and the earth would be somewhat more healed. It certainly wouldn't do very much for the billions of people who day to day live on the edge. Those are the folks that I'm concerned about, those along with the businesses that won't come back and the jobs that won't come back. Despite what your governor or president or prime minister may say, he or she is not able to push a magic button and fix it. It will be fixed because of scientists and engineers and entrepreneurs, the same way it's always been fixed. What I hope that we will remember as we move forward is that it is not a time to bemoan human ingenuity, but to celebrate it, because it's what's going to get us through this and get us back to Las Vegas sometime soon. And I appreciate those of you that took the time to listen to my little rant today. I don't really think of it as a rant, but just a reminder of how blessed and fortunate we all are to live in a world where normally it's not hard to find toilet paper or hamburger in the stores, and it's cheap. Okay, well, until next week, hope that you're doing well. Hope that those around you are doing well. Hope that you have a great and lucky week. And we will be back next week with a regular show, and we will see you soon. Take care.